Hi and welcome to episode 2 of The Inner Race. Just to give you a little recap as to what we're doing with this series, in 2026 I'm going to be running the London Marathon, and we're trying to look at the emotional side of preparing for a big event like that compared to just doing the physical side. Now, since episode 1, we've done 2 weeks of training and I've done a mixed bag. I've done some sort of runs after work and I've done 2 long runs on each of the weekends. And it's those I want to focus in on this episode, mainly because I had a very different experience on each of them. Now, the first long run actually happened away from where I am, up in the Lake District. We were on holiday with some friends. And the whole point of this holiday was that we were going away for a long weekend of just relaxing. So you can imagine the reaction that my chimp had when it was time to come and do a long run and everyone else is sitting there in their pajamas, eating biscuits and having a cup of tea. Every excuse under the sun came out. So we had everything from, oh, I'll do it tomorrow or later in the week, to, ooh, I think my knee hurts, best not go. I think even when I got fully changed and packed and ready, I took about 20 minutes picking out a podcast to look at. I listen to the same podcast every run. It's just pure excuses. Now, it leads quite nicely into what I want to talk about this episode, which is an exercise, a principle that we talk about here at Chimp Management called NEAT, which is N-E-A-T. And what that stands for is normal, expect it, accept it, and take care of it. Now, if we apply that to this long run, for the first one, is it normal that my chimp would want to kick off and not go on that long run? Yeah, of course it is. Okay, a long run's hard. I'm leaving my friends. I might miss out, the fear of missing out. And I want to just sit around and do nothing. Of course my chimp's going to kick off. So it's fully normal. Now, what I'd missed out is I'd not contemplated that. I just assumed everything would be fine. So I hadn't expected it, I hadn't accepted it, and I hadn't made a plan going forward. So if we skip to the second long run, which was just last Saturday, that was going to be ahead of quite another big weekend. We're going down to London to see Coldplay. Now, obviously, it's a really exciting thing to do. So on Tuesday, I sat down with my wife. We had a look at the plan going forward and thought, again, go through that NEAT exercise. So is it normal that my chimp might kick off there? Again, yeah, of course it is. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly healthy for my chimp to have an issue with going out on a long run when you've got such an exciting day ahead. So now we know it's normal, we can expect it to happen. That's the way the chimp's going to communicate with these emotional messages. So expect it to happen before you go out. Accept that that's the way your chimp is. That's the way my chimp is, at least. And make a plan to settle the chimp in the moment. Now, for me, that worked perfectly. I got out with very little problem. I still had those emotional messages and those excuses come into my head, but I had a plan to deal with them. The main one that worked for me was the fact that if I didn't do it then, I'd have to do it tomorrow. And that would fully ruin my experience of going to the concert. I wouldn't be able to dance as much. I'd have tired legs, maybe have to go to bed early, have to watch what I eat, watch what I drink. So instantly, as soon as I told my chimp that, boom, we're straight out the door. So that's an introduction to the NEAT principle. And obviously that's helped me with the long run last time, and I'm sure it'll help me again going forward. But I want you to have a think as well. Is there any point that you've got coming up this week or next week where it would be perfectly normal for your chimp to have a reaction? And then I just want you to have a think. It only takes a minute or two. Are you really expecting it, and have you really accepted it? It's really key, that. And if you have you got a plan in place to deal with it when it inevitably happens? So I've got another 2 weeks between now and episode 3. I've had a look at the weather. It's expected to take a bit of a turn. I'm sure that'll bring its own challenges, but time will tell. So I'll see you in episode 3.